woke up homeless, and my own children were the ones who put me on the street. My name is Walter. I'm 78 years old, and 3 days ago, I discovered my kids sold my house while I was fighting for my life in a hospital bed. It started with chest pain on a Tuesday morning. I was in my workshop building a rocking chair for my newest great-granddaughter. The pain hit like a sledgehammer. Sharp, crushing, like someone was squeezing my heart in a vise. I collapsed on the concrete floor. My neighbor, Mrs. Patterson, found me 6 hours later when she came to borrow sugar. "Walter, oh my God!" She called 911. The paramedics said I was lucky to be alive. Massive heart attack, the doctor explained. Triple bypass surgery. You'll be here for at least 2 weeks. I called my son David from the hospital. "Dad, are you okay?" "I'm alive. Barely. Listen, I need you to keep an eye on the house while I'm here." "Of course. Don't worry about anything. Just focus on getting better. The spare key is under the blue flower pot." "I know, Dad. I'll take care of everything." David lived in California. He'd have to fly out. But he was my eldest, my responsible one. My daughter Linda lived in town, but she was complicated, always asking for money, always in some kind of trouble. I trusted David. That was my first mistake. The surgery took 8 hours. When I woke up, I was connected to more machines than a space shuttle. Linda was sitting in the chair next to my bed. "How are you feeling, Daddy?" "Like I got hit by a truck." "The doctor says you're going to be fine, but you'll need lots of rest." "What about the house?" "David's handling everything. He flew in yesterday." Something in her voice sounded off. Too cheerful. Too reassuring. "Is everything okay?" "Everything's perfect, Daddy. Just focus on healing." Over the next week, David visited every day, always upbeat, always telling me not to worry. "How's the house looking?" I'd ask. "Great, Dad. I'm taking care of the yard, bringing in the mail. Everything's under control." "Any problems?" "None at all." But he wouldn't look me in the eyes when he said it. On day 10, a nurse named Angela came in during her break. "Mr. Thompson, I hope you don't mind me asking, but do you live on Maple Street?" "Yeah, 2047 Maple." "Why?" "My sister lives on that street. She mentioned there was a lot of activity at one of the houses. Moving trucks, people coming and going." My blood went cold. "Moving trucks?" "Yeah, big ones. Yesterday and today. She said it looked like someone was moving out." "What number house?" "I think she said 1247. The heart monitor started beeping faster. "Are you okay, Mr. Thompson?" I pressed the call button. "I need to make a phone call." "Right now." I called David. Straight to voicemail. Called Linda. Straight to voicemail. Called my neighbor, Mrs. Patterson. "Walter, how are you feeling?" "Joan, I need you to do me a favor. Can you look out your window and tell me what you see at my house?" Pause. "Walter, what do you see?" "There's a for sale sign in the yard. It says sold across it." The room started spinning. "When did that go up?" "A few days ago." "I thought you knew." "I figured you decided to sell and move closer to your kids." "I never decided to sell anything." "Oh, Walter." "Oh, no." I hung up and immediately called my lawyer, Robert Klein. "Robert, this is Walter Thompson. I'm in the hospital and I think my kids just sold my house without my permission." "That's impossible, Walter. They'd need power of attorney to do that." "Check the records." "Please." "I'll call you back in an hour." That was the longest hour of my life. When Robert called back, his voice was grim. "Walter, I have bad news. Your son David filed for emergency power of attorney 3 days after your heart attack. He claimed you were mentally incompetent due to the medical emergency." "I was sedated, not incompetent." "He had a doctor sign off on it. Said you were in a coma and someone needed to handle your affairs." "I was never in a coma!" "The paperwork says otherwise. And with that power of attorney, he had the legal right to sell your house." "For how much?" $230,000. My house was worth at least $400,000. He sold it for half what it's worth." "Walter, there's more. The buyer was Linda Thompson, your daughter." Everything clicked into place. David got power of attorney. Sold the house to Linda for half price. They split the money and screwed me out of my home. "Robert, what are my options?" "We can challenge the power of attorney. Prove you weren't incompetent." "But Walter, They already closed on the house. The new owners have moved in. What new owners? Linda sold it the same day she bought it. For $420,000. They made a $200,000 profit on my house while I was unconscious. Can I get it back? Probably not the house, but we might be able to sue for damages. That night, David came for his usual visit. How are you feeling today, Dad? Like I've been robbed. His face went white. What do you mean? I know about the house, David. He looked at the floor. Dad, I can explain. Explain how you had me declared incompetent while I was recovering from surgery. You were really sick. We didn't know if you'd make it. So you decided to steal my house.
We didn't steal anything.
We were protecting your assets by selling my home for half its value to your sister. Dad, you need the money for medical care. The house was too big for you anyway.
That wasn't your decision to make. You could have died. Someone had to act.
I stared at this man I'd raised from a baby. Fed, clothed, put through college. Get out. Dad, get out of my room now. What can work this out? There's nothing to work out. You stole my house, my home of 43 years. Where are you going to live when you get discharged? The question hit me like another heart attack. I had no idea. That's not your problem anymore. David left. I never saw him again. Linda came by the next morning. Daddy, David told me what happened. You mean he told you I found out about your little scheme? It wasn't a scheme. We were trying to help. By stealing from me. By making sure you had money for care. Do you know how much a nursing home costs? I never said I wanted to go to a nursing home. Where else are you going to go? You just had a heart attack. You can't live alone anymore. Says who? Says common sense daddy. I looked at this woman I'd rocked to sleep as a baby. Taught to ride a bike. Walked down the aisle at her wedding. How much did you make on the house? That's not important. How much, Linda? Whoop made a small profit. $200,000. Her silence was answer enough. What did you do with the money? We put it aside for your care. No, you didn't. You spent it. Some of it went to medical expenses. What medical expenses? Insurance is covering everything. Future medical expenses. Linda, just tell me the truth. For once in your life, she started crying. Fake tears. I'd seen them 1,000 times. We needed the money, Daddy. David's business is failing. I'm behind on my mortgage. So you decided to make me homeless to solve your problems.
You're not homeless.
We'll find you a nice place. I had a nice place. It was called my home. Daddy, please understand. Get out. What? Get out of my room. Don't come back? You're still my father? And you're still my daughter. But daughters don't steal from their fathers. She left crying. Real tears this time. The discharge nurse came in the next day. Mr. Thompson, where would you like us to send you when you're released? I don't know. Don't you have family? I thought I did. She looked at my chart. It says here your son is your emergency contact. Not anymore. Do you have anywhere to go? No. That's when it hit me. I was 78 years old, recovering from major surgery, and I was about to be homeless because my own children stole my house. The social worker, a kind woman named Maria, came to see me. Mr. Thompson, I understand you're having some family difficulties. My kids robbed me blind while I was unconscious. I'm sorry to hear that. Do you have any other relatives?
Friends.
My brother lives in Arizona, but I haven't talked to him in 5 years. Would you like me to call him? No. This is my mess to figure out. Mr. Thompson, there are options. Assisted living facilities. Senior housing. Can I afford that? Well, what are your assets? I used to have a house worth $400,000. What happened to it? My kids sold it and kept the money. Maria looked shocked. That's elder abuse, Mr. Thompson. Tell me something I don't know. Have you contacted the police? What would they do? Everything was legal. My son had power of attorney. Fraudulent power of attorney is still fraud. Can you prove it was fraudulent? She couldn't, and we both knew it. That afternoon, Mrs. Patterson called. Walter, I hope you don't mind, but I told my pastor about your situation. Joan, I don't need charity. It's not charity, it's community. Pastor Williams wants to help. How? The church has a small apartment above the fellowship hall. It's not much, but it's furnished and it's free. I started crying. First time I'd cried since my wife died 10 years ago. John, I can't accept that. Why not? Because I'm not a charity case? Walter, you helped build that fellowship hall. You donated thousands of dollars to that church over the years. Now it's their turn to help you. What would I do there? Whatever you want. Live. Heal. Figure out what comes next. For how long? As long as you need. I moved into the church apartment 3 days later. It was small, 1 bedroom, tiny kitchen. But it had something my kids' fancy houses didn't have. It had kindness. Pastor Williams helped me carry my few belongings upstairs. Walter, I want you to know something. This isn't temporary charity. This is permanent family. I don't understand. This church is your home now, for as long as you want it to be. That first night, I sat on the small couch and looked around. All my furniture was gone, sold with the house. All my photos, gone. All my memories, scattered to whoever bought my things at the estate sale I never authorized. But I was alive, and I was learning something important about family. Blood doesn't make you family. Love does. My children had my blood, but not my love. These church people had my love, but not my blood. Guess which ones felt more like family? 6 months later, Robert Klein called with an update. Walter, I have good news and bad news. Give me the bad news first. We can't get your house back. The current owners bought it in good faith. And the good news? We can sue David and Linda for fraud. The power of attorney was definitely invalid. You were never incompetent. How much could I recover? Maybe half of what they stole, after legal fees. And how long would it take? 2 to 3 years. I thought about it. Robert, I'm 78 years old. I just want to live in peace. So no lawsuit. No lawsuit. Walter, they stole from you. I know. And they have to live with that for the rest of their lives. That's punishment enough. Are you sure? I'm sure. I hung up and walked downstairs to help serve dinner at the church soup kitchen. That's what I do now. I help people who are hungry, homeless, forgotten. People like I was. The irony isn't lost on me. My children made me homeless to get my money. But being homeless led me to a home I never could have bought. David called last Christmas. Dad, I'd like to see you. Why? Because you're my father. And because Linda spent all the money and you need another loan? Silence. That's not why I'm calling.
Yes, it is.
Dad, please, can we just talk?
We are talking. In person.
David, answer me honestly. Are you broke? Long pause.
Yes.
And you want me to help? I was hoping. Here's what I'm going to help you with. I'm going to help you understand something. What? When you steal from your father, you lose your father. Dad, what? When you make your father homeless, you become an orphan. I hung up. Linda tried to visit once. I saw her through the window, talking to Pastor Williams. He came upstairs afterward. Your daughter was here. What did she want?
To apologize.
Did she bring the money she stole? No. Then she didn't come to apologize. She came to feel better about herself. Walter, forgiveness isn't about them. It's about you. Pastor, I've forgiven them. But forgiveness doesn't mean I have to trust them again. That's fair. I'm 81 now. Still living above the fellowship hall. Still serving soup to people who need it. Still building furniture in my small workshop behind the church. I built a beautiful rocking chair last month. Gave it to a young mother who couldn't afford one. She cried when I handed it to her. How much do I owe you? Nothing. It's a gift. I can't accept this.
Why not?
Because I don't have anything to give you back. You already gave me something. What? You reminded me why I build furniture. Not for money. For love. My children taught me that family isn't about blood. It's about who shows up when you need them. Who stays when times get hard. Who gives without expecting anything back. I lost a house worth $400,000. But I found a family worth more than all the money in the world. My children sold my house while I was fighting for my life. But they gave me something more valuable than they took. They showed me what real family looks like. And it doesn't look like them.